The one thing I keep running into is it's really frustrating, Max, and maybe you've come across this too. So many wishy-wash Christians use the excuse that it is all supposed to happen, otherwise it wouldn't happen. What are your thoughts on that?
Mate, that's exactly what they're saying. I've tried to tell people about this. I mean, I keep going back to the Bible, and I keep saying, look, read the words of Christ. Forget about what's in the Bible. Read the words of Christ. Read what he actually said, you know. He said to look out for false prophets. It seems like a lot of these religious institutions are the false prophets. And I put it on one of the shows recently. I said, look, we can just look and see whether these institutions are corrupt. Are there homeless people in your area? Does your church in your area support war? Because if it supports war and there are homeless people in the area, then you've got a false prophet in your neighborhood. And people have to understand that the Bible was written by the very people who killed Christ. I mean, they put this together for a reason. They put it there to hide his teachings. And I believe that the Illuminati that are doing this, the criminals at the top, are simply following the script. They're just following the script. And everyone's saying, oh, look, it's coming true. It was predicted in the Bible, and this has to happen because the Bible says it's going to. Well, they should read the words of Christ. He told them to watch out for false prophets. And they should stand up and make some noise about this, you know. And they really need to make some noise about this food and about what's going on, because the farmers are good stewards. People like you are good stewards, and that is who is threatened by this bill that's coming through. And this is at a time when your country and my country needs wise stewardship. And, you know, we need the production of anything that's real, especially good food. We need to keep this going. This is so important. And the corporations, they just don't want that. They want the land. They want more intensive industrialization. They want the end of normal animals so they can substitute patented, genetically engineered ones that they own. You know, they want the end of normal seeds and the end of seed banking by farmers or individuals. They want control over all the seeds, all the animals, all the water, all the land. They're looking at, you know, the criminalization of seed banking, the prison terms and confiscatory fines for farmers, 24-hour GPS tracking of animals, easements on properties to be to allow for warrantless government searches, the stripping away of property rights. It's just outrageous what's going on. They're just planning the elimination of natural and organic farmers, and everything's going to be monocropped by corporations. They've got to do this, and trust me, folks, this isn't predicted in the Bible. This isn't happening because the Bible says, oh, look, it's predicted, we've just got to let it happen. You've got to stand up and make noise about it, because a lot of these Christians that are just sitting there waiting for Armageddon, they don't realize that Armageddon's already going on. It's a battle that's been fought within. It's a battle of energy, and it's your choice. The whole thing is based on choice, whether you choose to stand up and make noise or whether you choose not to. That's what it's all about. And like Martin Luther King, he said, he who passively accepts evil is as much involved as he who helps to perpetuate it. So sitting back waiting for things to happen and saying it's all being done because the Bible said it has to happen, that's a cop-out. It's an absolute cop-out. These people need to stand up and make some noise, because they are just being part of the problem instead of being part of the solution.
Absolutely, and they're too stupid to be ashamed of themselves. I tell you, but it is a choice, Max. It is absolutely a choice whether we want this to stop or not, because we outnumber our enemy behind the veil. You know, the Wizard of Oz. They're actually very weak people, but they have some odd belief system that whenever they do something or intend to do something, they announce it, and if we do not resist it, do not say no, then they carry it out, and they don't think that there's, they don't think we're actually conscious. We're just animals to them, to herd around and to dispose of. What if we're just complying to their sacrifices, aren't we?
Absolutely. I mean, that's what it all is. It's all based on ritual. I mean, there's a lot of occult stuff that goes on with this, and it's all about energy work. It's all about ritual. And in any ritual, the victim is a willing victim, always a willing victim. They have to announce what they're going to do, and to see if the victims will go along with it. And the victims just agree by complying with it, by not speaking out against it, because silence is passive agreement. I mean, even in law, silence is passive agreement. And people need to look at this and realise that they do. They tell you straight up, oh, we're just testing this, or we're just trying this out. Of course, that means that they're going to do it, you know. You shouldn't even be letting these people try these things out. It's just ridiculous. And the farmers are the only ones that are standing up against this outrage of the seeds and what's going on with this new bill. I mean, this is one of the most important things. It really is. I've probably been harping on about it on the show, but it's so important that this seed bill not be passed, because a lot of people are waiting for this military coup to happen or some armed revolution to happen, but they're not paying attention to what's going on around them. And in the meantime, these people are controlling all the food. And once they control all the food and introduce Codex Alimentarius at the end of this year, Codex is due to go worldwide on December 31st, 2009. Then it's game, set, match.
Yes. Let's take another break, Max. We'll be back in 3 minutes. Our guest this evening is Max Igan from Australia. His website is thecrowhouse.com. People, when government can tell you what to grow or not grow, and can force microchip all your animals with threat of fines and prison, all of it, the land, the animals, and the crops cease to be yours. They've just stolen everything. I mean, this is just obvious to me, but I guess it's over your heads. They're hijacking. They've taken the banks. They're taking all the property, all the livestock, all the food. This is the end of you. This is the end. But you just sit there back on your sofa and keep waiting for the Messiah to come down and take you away on the rapture bus. I don't know what to say about it. It's just insane. It's my line in the dirt, guys. Hey, Max, I had an employee. Well, a person come in and apply for a job here today. Actually this afternoon, and I went ahead and hired her because we're really busy, and we're tired of being overwhelmed 16 hours a day, my wife and I. But she formerly had a toy company until about a week ago, because Congress passed a law that said because of the potential lead-based toys out there in the marketplace, she now has to have $25 million insurance policy. She had a $2 million insurance policy. Now, as of right now, she had to buy a $25 million insurance policy, and she couldn't afford it, so she went belly up, and she's now going to be doing seeds with us. It is insane how they are taking. This used to be the land of entrepreneurs and stuff, and it just, see how it's hijacked, and now the only ones that are going to manufacture toys are the big mega companies, right?
Yeah, they're doing it with everything, John. They're doing it with everything, just taking over, so there's no room for little people. They want a whole world controlled by corporations, and I think what you're doing with the seeds, John, is just such an important thing. I mean, I really, really can't stress that enough to people. Almost every show on the other network, I mention your seeds and that people have to start growing their own food. It's so important, you know. And it's the farmers that are standing between this Monsanto outrage that's masquerading as science, but it's not science at all. It's the farmers who need protecting, and it's businesses like yours that are so important. People really, really have to get their own food growing. And yeah, everybody's being squeezed out. All these little businesses are being squeezed out. Everybody they can, they're squeezing them out. They're forcing them into situations where, you know, they're just getting ready to crash the economy, and no one's going to be able to be self-employed. And I mean, it's just shocking what's going on. It really is. And people have got to stand up and address this. And the people that are sitting back waiting for revelation and waiting for the rapture, I mean, these people are somehow expecting to inherit paradise, but they can't even take control of their own lives yet. They can't even deal with themselves on a personal level. How can they possibly be expected to suddenly reach enlightenment and be delivered into salvation when they can't even look after their own children? They can't even manage their own lives. I mean, it's ridiculous. These people are just waiting for someone to come and save them, but they won't take responsibility for themselves. They really need to take responsibility for themselves. God helps those who help themselves first. And that's the sad truth of the matter. They need to wake up to themselves, these people.
Yeah.